body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
Let me rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
Let me rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
Well, you know, I'm feeling, 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 I'm feeling. Smoking my brain, I wanna do my thing. Work up a sweat until I soaking wet. Rub your body, show no mercy, because I'm feeling tipsy, I'm feeling freaky. I wanna rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
Let me rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub and love up. I wanna rub and kiss up. I wanna rub and jam up. I wanna rub and rub up. I wanna rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
Let me rub my body on your body.
I wanna rub my body on your body.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark when stop, straight up from the root. Mark when stop, who tell the truth. Mark when stop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark when stop, radio station is the fruit. Mark when stop, straight up from the root. Mark when stop, we have to gather round, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Ben's cap upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and pon the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal them.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good evening. My name is Mark Benchap, and welcome to Straight Up. We're going to rock and roll this evening for 1 hour, and that's about it. So in just about 10 minutes or so, we will be joined, and hopefully our operator Lemon can ensure that we get connected to J.R. Crawford and Mr. Wayne Caesar. They are going to be talking with us concerning their plans and what they expect for 2023 from a political standpoint. And so that's where we are this evening. It is 2023. A happy new year to all of you. And I wish you guys all the success that you wish for yourself, health-wise also. And politically speaking, we expect better in Guyana. We actually do. Right. Good evening, and spread the word. Let the folks know that we're on the second day of January 2023. Hope you guys have had a great start of the new year. And what is it? Let's just get straight down into business. This is 2023. It's a business year. We will just tell it like it is. Let's start with this right off the bat. This is a house. This is a house in Linden, a house in Linden. And look, I want to make this clear. Nothing is wrong with upgrade. Nothing is wrong with houses being donated by any government, whether they're installed or not. This house was donated to this mother, a single mother with, I believe, 5 children. $2 million for this home. Taxpayers' money, not Edgel's money, not the installed regime ministers or the installed president's money. It's taxpayers. My money, your money, our money. And so they are all happy to donate this house. $2 million. And you guys who know math would know the $2 million Guyana dollars. How much is that in US currency? Let me know. How much is that in US currency? And so they rushed down there to take this photograph. $2 million. That is something that can be donated through, what is it? GoFundMe in less than 30 minutes. People would donate $2 million in less. Some folks would push their hands in their pocket, some folks, mind you, and donate $2 million. $2 million, Guyana dollars, that is, it's under 10,000 US, just about 9,500 US. And so the installed regime donated 9,500 US dollars. They refurbished that house, and they gave it to this woman. Now, fair enough, might be better than what she had. Nothing is wrong with that. But 9,500 US dollars, they went all the way to Linden to take this photograph, to put the woman there and her 5 children, and they're smiling. They're smiling. It's a big thing for them. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't get it. And they were forced to do this. Here why they were forced to do it. The other day, they donated a spanking new house, 3 or 4 bedroom house, to Auntie that Jack Dale saw, not Jack Dale, the other puppet of Jack Dale, Irfan Ali saw and decided to promote a private business that is happening, a private business with these homes. So he got his friends them in the private sector to go and build Auntie, who is almost 80 years old. Okay, everybody wants to live nice, right? Whether they're 80 or whether they're 18. So let's take a look at this here. The top house is Auntie's house. Auntie no longer lives and Auntie is single, I believe. Of course, she lives with her grandson, and this is a 3 or 4 bedroom, I believe. The house on the top. The house at the bottom was donated to the single mother, and you could tell that if it's a brand new house, they probably used old wood. I don't know what you guys think, right? I mean, it's good that the woman got a new house. I don't know where she used to live. And look how they just rushed to put this house together. The bottom house, that is, for the mother of 5, I believe. The mother of 5. Look at it. Look at the bottom house. Just take a look. They rushed to put it together. They didn't even probably put little paint. It looked like whitewash. Whitewash. They just daubed the door with a little something, put in 2 quick window, nail it up quick. And then after they finished doing that, guess what? Boom. They all rushed down there as quickly as possible to take a photograph. But take a look at Auntie, who is said to be about 85 years old. Look at her house on top. Why couldn't this bottom house, because they're all taxpayers' money, right? Mind you, right? They're all taxpayers' money. Look at Auntie's gate, look at Auntie's fence, and look at Auntie's house compared to the bottom house. I don't know if, it's the new year, and I don't know if I'm seeing correctly or whether I'm making sense. Because there might be some folks within the audience there that might, relax yourself. At least the mother of 5, she got something to rest her head. Her kids got somewhere to rest her head. That's not the point. That is just not the point. Because if you're going to do something for one, look, let me just move on. This just doesn't match up. But what I know it matches up is the modus operandi of the installed regime to continuously discriminate against specifically persons of African ancestry. They do that all the time. They do that every day through their policies and other stuff. Now, that is why I refrain from getting involved in the Happy New Year and Happy New Year. And what is so happy about the New Year? 3, 4 persons already died. 1 policeman under suspicious circumstances lost his life. The acting commissioner of police has promised to look into it, to investigate. Look, let me say this to you guys. There's nothing to investigate. They're not going to investigate anything. It's done with. It's done with. That's it. Now, I don't mean to be this crude or insensitive towards the relatives of those folks who lost their lives, the young fisherman and the young policeman. But the police force, they know exactly what transpired. Could it have been a contraband situation? I don't know. Because, they have a contraband guy somewhere in the east coast of Demerara. To be exact, somewhere in Enmore, is always in a shootout with police. But when you look at the bullet wound of that policeman, look, I'm no forensic expert, but I've done a few courses in forensic science. And that bullet wound that policeman sustained, it's not from a mile or a half a mile. It's close range, shot at close range. I want to hear what the autopsy report is going to reveal. I want to hear whether that policeman was shot at close range. There's something sinister about that. Something isn't adding up. And right off the bat, I'll tell you guys this. I do not trust the police to investigate police. Because when police investigate police, you know where that's going, right? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Now, before we get J.R. Crawford, I'm told that Mr. Crawford is already in studio with us behind backstage waiting. Look at this. The installed Ali to be conferred with prestigious Pravasti Bharatiya Saman Award of 2023. Now, he's receiving an award out in India. And namaste to all of our Hindu brothers and sisters. Namaste or namaskar. But this guy is being awarded the highest award out there of this organization out in India, of which the president of India will be in attendance. But this is a guy under his stewardship back in a country that he belongs to, Guyana, is discriminating against persons of African descent, is discriminating against individuals who do not support his corrupt and murderous party. And so in Guyana, we right now have an apartheid state, but yet the folks out in India thought it best to basically give this guy an award. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to ask J.R. Crawford about these things when he gets on. Pele died at 82, and we just got to pay homage to this brother. For decades he has been able to inspire thousands of individuals around the world. I don't know if at any time J.R. Crawford wanted to be an international football player. I don't know. I know his dad was a cyclist, a champion cyclist back in the days. We weren't born yet. Mr. Crawford, what's your take? Good evening and happy New Year to you and your family.
Good evening and all the best to everyone for this 2023.
Thank you. What's your take on Pele, man? Passed away, 82, the best.
Well,
3 world championships.
He lived a good life. And we all have to go at some time. According to the Bible, it's 70, so he had a little bit more.
82 years old. Came from the slums of Brazil at the age of 17. 17 years old. He was able to win his first championship. Came from the slums. And I want to say this, not because somebody, quote unquote, slums, mind you. Not because someone comes from economically depressed community, mean that they are not worthy of anything. Lots of brilliant people are in those very communities, but because you have corrupt governments, oftentimes bypass those individuals. And so a lot of those individuals don't get to shine, whether it's through sports, politics, law, or whatever it is. They just don't get the shine for the most part. And if governments were to focus mainly, not just, but if governments were to focus, if governments...
Dad, I've been on my body in accident.
Okay, sweetheart. Yeah, thank you. It's a new year. Nothing new. Yeah, and so governments ought to be focusing on across the board, but they do not have to basically shut the people out from the ghettos. They have lots of Piles who are running around in Guyana, Linden, Kukwani, Ituni, Bartica, Port Kaituma, you name it. Lots of Piles that are running around, but they just don't get that opportunity. And so anyways, we take this time out to salute and pay homage to the greatest of them all, Pele. What's happening in your neck of the woods, Mr. Crawford?
Just before you go on to more serious business, I think you did forget that I went to nationals a couple of times as Barbie Sprint champion, right?
Yeah, you only got that opportunity to go to nationals because I think something went wrong with my foot or something like that. I fell off the bike. And
you mean you had a foot problem from 79 to 86? Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, congratulations to that to
in
you.
our end here, you could have seen the economic pressure. The holidays wasn't what it normally used to be, and it's so hard that it was just like a Sunday.
It was basically just another day on the
Right.
quarantine. Unlike
It
when back in our days when you're smelling everybody food, we cooking curry, this, that, and then you had do you guys still have the long lady, I think it's called, and the drummings and these things on the road?
No, I haven't seen it up here. I don't know if it's any other part of the country.
Okay. Yeah.
I
So yeah,
look.
go
I
ahead.
was on the West Coast, and the guys selling on the side of the road the plantain chips. Guys were saying how tough it is now, but they're there. But they're not making the ends meet as they used to a few years ago.
But you're hearing these guys in the installed regime talking about how great it is and the economy is growing and all manner of things, and even planting chips, man, complaining. Everybody complaining. Where is this
How
oil wealth going? Where is it going, sir?
if you look at the credible news agency, it will tell you the cost of living has not only doubled but tripled. So if you have the cost of living who's climbing up and there is no economic opportunities, what does that tell you? All we're seeing that we're going under more loans and we're having all these substandard work being done. They've built a scheme in Region 6 at Fort Ordnance. And the housing that has been put up there, if you put 15 or 18 fowl in a house, you have a problem. That's how little. And
I
that's
saw. I saw. And to give
it's
the
like a
people,
prison cell.
I don't know.
Is that what you're going to give to your people? And you tell me, this is a caring government. There is no yard
don't
space for you
disrespect
to plant a
prison
kitchen
cells.
garden or rear any poultry.
I'm familiar with prison cells, mind you, politically speaking.
But that's what I'm saying. When you look at these things, all these settlements are going to bring is prostitution and drug dealing, and the courts are going to be full with these residents.
So basically, Mr. Crawford, there is no plan. This regime has no plan. They have no policy. They have no vision. So they haphazardly get up and they rush to put a couple of fall coups. And I say fall coups not to disrespect the people who will be occupying those, because I'm told that they're going for about 5 million Guyana dollars, those fall coups.
Somewhere around there. But here the thing, Mark, not to cut into you.
Sure.
The people of this country have to start to demand more respect from the government or the political party who's in charge of the government that they support. If this government here is telling people that they are caring and they're concerned about the welfare and the upliftment of Guyanese, that's the way you're going to put me to live and expect me to be a happy citizen so I can contribute more or want to go out there and extend myself there? You showed a comparison with 2 homes built for 2 needy persons. And because they're different ethnic origin, look at what one got from the other. And the one that got a better and a much more respectable home is an elderly person who's going to be gone, pretty soon. And the younger parent with 4 or 5 kids got a slum. This is telling you that some people are garnering the respects of this administration while others are blatantly disrespected. Now, as citizens of this country, we need to demand that the government respect all Guyanese across the board and not on ethnicity lines or inner circle affiliation. And that is what is happening in this country.
And it is sorry about that, Mr. Crawford. It is happening, but yet they are in a state of denial. When we highlight these things, they get upset. They say we're preaching racism and all manner of things. You did mention again the comparison. Look at the top house compared to the bottom house. The bottom house is one which the regime just donated. They claim that it costs $2 million. Look, Mr. Crawford, I will build something like that for not more than 100,000 Guyana dollars. 100,000 Guyana dollars, maybe 200,000. But yet they build that for $2 million?
Well, when it comes to projects on the government, and I don't know how the cost of doing something once the government is involved, it goes fivefold as compared to a private citizen. I don't know how the materials or the furniture or the electronic appliances, all they don't double, they go about 5 times the normal price. I don't know how these guys come up with these pricing.
Look, it is corruption, because if this house could not, and I don't want to disrespect it because I don't know where the single mother came from, but if it's a home, well, then it is. But for anyone to say that this cost $2 million, something is definitely wrong. Something is wrong with these folks. $2 million, unacceptable, unbelievable. I just can't believe that.
Look, I am not surprised at the behavior. When you have broken, damaged roads, and they're being repaired, it is worse than when it was a pothole, because the bumps in these roads, pregnant people can't be traveling in cars anymore. The roads have become so deplorable.
It has been happening for the entire time that the PPP was in office for 23 years. Ask the people of Sophia, ask the people of certain parts on the east coast of Demerara, Beirut, and other areas. Ask them about those roads. Ask them across Parfait, Harmony, and other places about those roads, Canal number 1 and 2. So this corrupt regime is not about improvement in the country. It's not about betterment. It's all about corruption. But go ahead, sir.
Look, everything that you said, we have noted, and this comes back to the people of the country who have no self-respect or no value for their own upbringing or their survival. They're accepting this substandard treatment from people that some of them support. Why is it that I will have somebody who is employed by me to do my work, and this is what they give me, and I have to accept it? This is what I've been saying last year and the year before.
Let me ask you this. Let me just point this out to you and our listeners. 85-year-old woman wasn't living in a proper house. Irfan Ali, with taxpayers' money, decided that he's going to build a house. Then he went to hand the house over. This is the top house. He went to hand that house over. But this bottom house, right? This bottom house, look who he sent to hand it over. These guys have any shame? Isn't it obvious what they're up to? I know, Mr. Crawford, earlier you mentioned about some homes not far from the Berbice River Bridge, right?
Right.
How much those houses are going for?
Somebody was saying around $5 million or a little bit more.
$5 million. Look, let our listeners see what it looks like. Our viewers, look at these houses.
You could bring it up a little closer for them to see.
No, they're gonna have to zoom in. Look at it. No yard space, no nothing. Mud, a mud dam. This is how they expect people to live. And this is what they're selling these houses for. 5 million Guyana dollars. This is what they call a better Guyana. This is what they call, oil economy, a billion-dollar economy, where hundreds of millions of dollars being shipped out and sent out of the country and nothing for the people, but yet these scampish vagabonds in office are putting their friends and cronies in the private sectors to build these sort of homes or houses and sell it to ordinary Guyanese. No yard space, no nothing. If you snore, your neighbor is going to hear you. If you use the bathroom, you know what I mean? Your neighbor is going to hear you. If you can't even make noise, sorry about that, in the house, your neighbors are going to hear. So these foul pens that this corrupt regime is selling to the people, you're correct, that people sit down and accept these sort of substandard stuff. I don't know. Go ahead, Crawford. Just talk. Go ahead.
Look, it's a simple thing. Installed or elected, do the right thing by the people. You're only there for a period of time. Respect all the citizens, because when you're looking for votes, you're all over the place.
Hold on a second. Let's deal with this crapo right away, right off the bat. This crapo, Shaw. Why PNC did not do for the people? Thank God PPP sits still. You know, this is the backwardness. This guy obviously either went to night school or just didn't go to school at all. Or he went to school with Irfan Ali at night, and God in heaven knows which school that is. The PNC, through the coalition that is, did a heck of a lot. And don't talk about the housing schemes during the PNC time. Real housing schemes, mind you. Not these sort of put up little shacks that the PPP is putting up right now. You know, these guys don't have a conscience. And I'm sure this is probably level lip. Look, let me put this guy to work right away before we get back into. So Shaw gets this first award for the year. Right away. He got it. These guys have no brains, none whatsoever. You were making a point, man. Go ahead. Sorry, I had to. You see,
these guys, their attitude and their upbringing is what I must say racially motivated, or
we can't say it's racially motivated, because it could be one of them from the peanut butter crew at office of the president. It could be
those guys are what I might call barnacles. They just suck on there, and they look at survival and they consider it as living. They don't understand the difference, doing the wrong thing to survive as compared to living a proper life. But coming back to the point I was trying to make.
Sure.
Any elected or selected government or installed or whatever the case may be, it is the duty of the governing body to look after the people across the board. And it's a simple thing. If I look after everybody and show all the citizens the same respect, who is going to put me out of office?
Well, look, you are correct.
I don't have to punish.
You are correct, Mr. Crawford. And people do expect governments to do that. What they have there in Guyana right now is not a government. It's a mafia entity. It's a corrupt enterprise. It's not a government. And you see how these guys operate, like bandits. They don't care about the people. It's all about themselves, all about their friends, all about cronies, corruption every day. Look at what's happening in the Guyana Police Force. Look at what's happening at Guyana Elections Commission, with nepotism and friends and cronies getting paid $1 million a month, $2 million a month at the Guyana Elections Commission. Look at the Guyana police force in shambles. Look at the Guyana defense force in shambles. Look at what's happening with the spy network opposite, that's in the compound of Castellano House, spying on citizens, listening and eavesdropping on citizens' phone calls, their text messages, and all these manner of things. It is not a government, Mr. Crawford. It's a criminal enterprise headed by Irfan Ali and Jack Dio. Don't call them a government. They're not a government.
Look, we all know that with modern times now, anything criminal will come down. And it's only a matter of time. And history has taught us, when you consider yourself mighty, all you have to do is look at Haiti back in 1803 or whatever, when they defeated the great Napoleon Bonaparte. And it's going to happen here in Guyana. And it's going to have severe consequences. Albeit some innocent people are going to get hurt. But people are going to get tired of this nonsense. And you'll see a sudden change in the way people accept or do not accept being ridiculed or being oppressed.
People could only. I read a book where, and it's inside the themes of African Guyanese history. It should be at Austin's bookstore. Check it. Get a copy. Themes of Guyanese history. In that book, I read somewhere in a paragraph where a slave says every time he goes and he talks to Massa nicely, Massa no listen to him. Massa chase him. And he said one day he decided to Massa put down his rifle and he decided to take up Massa's rifle. And he pointed the rifle at Massa. Massa put his hands up and said, take whatever you want. In other words, freedom comes with a price. But
yes, it always comes with a price.
People, and we're not speaking, we're not preaching violence here at all, because the first thing they love to say is that we speak and we preach violence and so forth. We're just giving them a peek preview as to what the possibility may be. We've gone through a crime wave before that the government then, the PPPC regime then, was a part of. They had death squads, they had killing squads, they had drug lords that were participating in the killing of innocent citizens. Most innocent citizens died as a result of government death squad under the Jack Diaz regime. Look, we have police officer, detective Sergeant Bascom is saying good night to us, and he's saying Happy New Year to all of the people. Let us also not forget that this policeman's life is in danger. Dion Bascom, Detective Sergeant, he's the guy, he's right here. He's saying good night and Happy New Year to all of you guys. You guys got to pray for this guy. They're hunting him. They want him dead. They want him dead because this is the guy that exposed and to this day, we can't hear anything back about the paper shorts and the investigations and whether this guy, what's his name, the murder suspect, Mark Richmond, was arrested, or whether this guy, Azardine Mohammed, was arrested and questioned. But no, we can't hear these things at all. And this is the guy. That's the policeman, Dion Bascom. Our prayers are still with you. And continue the good job you're doing there as a detective in the Guyana police force. Mr. Crawford, we want to definitely move on to some other stuff. I don't know. Let's see here. What else we can move on to? This is the U.S. ambassador to Guyana, Sarah Ann Lynch. Just bear her out for another. Let me see how long more she has in Guyana. This is January, then we have February, March. By April, the end of March, April, that's it. And so let's just say early farewell to the ambassador. Let's just say you heard it here first as well, right? By April, March, April, the latest, that's it. The new ambassador will be taking her seat in Guyana at the U.S. Embassy. Tomorrow is the swearing in of new congressmen and so forth. And of course, it has to go through the Senate. But let us say by April the latest, Sarah Ann Lynch, the U.S. ambassador to Guyana, will be bidding the Guyanese farewell. Um, I don't know what I wanted to touch on this. What this guy says here. This guy says Guyana poised for exciting times. Jagdeo, coming from a guy that wrecked Guyana, a guy that destroyed Guyana, a guy that corrupted Guyana, a guy under whose stewardship they had drug lords running and rampaging the country with death squads, a guy whose minister visas were revoked, commissioners of police were revoked under his stewardship, is telling Guyanese now, he has the audacity to say to Guyanese, Guyana is poised for exciting times. What exciting times is he talking about? It couldn't be economic exciting times. Is he saying that the drug lords and all the guys that they're giving guns to, the gold smugglers and all these, is that the exciting times he's talking about? Take a bite of that, Crawford.
Look, that statement doesn't mean anything, and it's not worth the paper is printed on, because if you're going to try to tell a nation that positivity is on the horizon, the first thing you have to show is unity and care for the nation. You cannot try to sell that by saying, bring people with false hope when you're not taking care of the citizens. Are they coming out and meeting all the citizens across the board? No. Are they doing things where it shows care and concern? No. Are they willing to listen to people? Look at how they speak to people on the street. Like if they're dogs. You work for the citizen, not the other way around. That there is just a ploy to calm people who, foolish people.
No, it's not even to call, it's a scampish move.
Right. There is no exciting times here.
Anything this guy does is always scampish. It's always a form of controversy and corruption and so forth. We know about that. And let's not shy away from reminding people about the corruption, allegations of corruption by Sue, that Sue made against Jack Deere, So Jack Deere should be the last person to talk about exciting times, unless his exciting times mean that go back into the crime wave and drug lords. And well, they already got their friends and cronies posing with big guns and so-called security firms and all these different things. Let's go back to allegations made by Sue.
Source. Okay, maybe the Chinese company that did not get the agreement that they wanted here, maybe they're the ones who told you, or it could be just a fictitious thing.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Sue Jerome?
Sue. Oh, Sue.
Let's not forget about that, right? The Sue situation. They all wanted an investigation, didn't they? Where's the investigation? Nothing. Sue, we are not hearing from Sue. There's no investigations. There's nothing. But a lady who supposedly, they're saying allegedly, signed some check for $400,000 or $800,000 6 years ago. Allegations, mind you, they want to go after her. But hundreds of millions of dollars, allegations made by Sue. And to this day, no investigations against Barrett Jack Deere, who rented Sue a house right next door to his house there in Pradoville too. No investigations, nothing at all. Who are these guys fooling?
Mark, Crawford, when you talk about exciting, right? Is Jagger alluding to the fact that we will get to understand what happened to the $607 million US that were withdrawn from the NRF fund?
No, he's not talking about that. I think Eon Winters is onto something, but then again, exciting times. Go ahead, Mr.
You see,
Crawford.
you see, there lies the problem. 750 plus thousand people, and 95% of the population are afraid to voice their displeasure of what is going on by 50 people in a political circus. Come on. We cannot be held hostage by people that are supposed to be doing things on our behalf as a nation. Every time or every year that we keep going backwards, we are losing so much in the international market. We are losing so much in our personal lives. We are robbing our children an opportunity to be on par with the rest of the world when it comes to happiness or education or experience. Why are we doing this to our children? Just for a little crumb so we can run out on the weekends or go into the malls and say, you know what, I'm living a good life, and you're not having a proper alleyway for your children to be better than what you are?
Look,
is it that Guyanese people, many of us are so self-centered and selfish?
The coalition had a plan in place to educate all the little kids, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of political affiliation. And we give the coalition kudos for that. Lots of credit for that. The kids had proper meals. Not the corruption that we're seeing, not the swank or mobby that the kids are sugar water that the kids are drinking now, and porridge without milk and these sort of things. Where friends and cronies are getting the contracts of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's a waste of time kind of food. Not that. The coalition had something in place for the education sector, the health sector. They had lots of things in place. Those very things that the PVP neglected for 23 years. We said thank God for the coalition. Unfortunately, they have been cheated out of office. Speaking of the coalition, and as we're looking at time, when you have something and you cut this something in half, does it still have the same value? You know, back at Alness Primary, they had Teacher Gobin. If he asks you or Miss Mala, if they ask you this particular, or Mr. Madramutu, or Miss Woodruff, you probably want to know how I remember all those names, right? Here why I remember all those names of teachers at Alness Primary. Miss Woodruff, she used to put some lashes on us.
Yeah, she loved the wild cane.
Yeah, Mr. Madramutu, wild cane. Mr. Gobin, wild cane.
No, Mr. Gobin was good. Mr. Prashad, they were good.
Had a serious left hand with a wild cane. Trust me.
Khan Baj was crazy.
Oh yeah, oh gosh. But the
Christopher,
of all of them that never really beat me was Miss Mala. She never beat me. But let's get back to this. You cut it in half, they lost the value. Here it is that the AFC has decided now that they're going to walk away from the coalition. In other words, all of us who campaign, all of us who ensure that the coalition won the elections in 2020, to ensure that these guys got seats in parliament, the AFC now has decided that they're going to disrespect the coalition voters. All of us who voted for them disrespect us and decide that they are going to split the coalition and walk away with the seats. And let me say this to you and our listeners. I didn't vote for a coalition so that the AFC could grab its seats and walk away from a coalition. That is disrespectful, man. Let me get your take on that, Mr. Crawford.
Mark, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If the AFC wants to, well, since they have left, they would carry no seats. We all know that the AFC did not muster 3,000 votes. I don't care who or what they say. Now, I can understand the publication where the AFC is claiming that they're going to go their separate ways, but in Parliament they work as one unit. That's asinine. That doesn't make any sense. That's using a backdoor logic to
Crawford,
keep
I won't even listen to that, because both remember his old years night when Ramjatan supposedly said that to Norton. I don't know if he said that to Norton at Bamba Mali, or Norton met him in a rum shop somewhere in Kitty, because that by itself is not a sane person who would utter that sort of dotishness. You know, they decide now to walk away, but they're going to cooperate in Parliament. It is not going to happen. The AFC will use its seats to vote in favor also of the installed PPP regime.
Mark, I have cautioned.
Then they're claiming that come 2025 they will coalesce again. Nobody wants that. They have destroyed the coalition. The AFC has destroyed the coalition in government and outside of government.
Right. I have cautioned the coalition leadership about giving the AFC 9 seats. I explained to them that if they get the 9 seats, 9 plus 34 is a terrible number for the citizens of Guyana. Some people are sure that it will be okay. I never trusted it. I don't trust it. There may be 1 or 2 people who may be able to stop that snowballing effect. It's left to be seen. Norton, this is his moment to either put up or step out, because I don't trust the leadership in the AFC. I don't care what they're saying, because if a man is fighting for leadership and in your community you cannot have more than 10 people voting for you, what the hell are you doing with the leadership?
Are you saying that the people at number 47 village, 48 village under quarantine?
Look, man.
I heard you hardly get 3 or 4 votes. Anyways,
look, let me tell you this straight up, right? I'm not gonna harp on this too much. When my brother was running with Nigel on the whole AFC platform, they made such a huge impact. All those numbers, it was those 2 guys. Wherever they campaigned, they had.
Wait a minute. Let's give jacket, as they say. Ramaya was able to, along with your brother, indeed, penetrate the PPP support base on the quarantine. Continue.
Let me tell you this. Ramaya.
Not do that.
Ramaya.
Not left out Ramaya. Not left out Ramaya.
No. Hold on a second. If you look at the numbers in the 2020 AFC pockets, it fell off a cliff.
It was nothing.
And I could tell you in the 2015 election, the impact in certain NDCs that Nigel Hughes and Ryan Crawford had to bring the voters there. I know what I'm saying. I
am speaking specifically about penetrating the PPP support base in Women, Albion, and so forth. Ramaya, don't let me. We might get our views on Ramaya or so forth. Let's not leave Ramaya out, man. Not leave Ramaya out.
Mr. Gentleman, don't go with that false notion, my brother. What I'm saying to you now, the AFC should not be having 9 seats because I do not trust them. They attacked Mr. Granger from May of 2015. Nobody in the AFC leadership can come and tell me no garbage, because I have all the ammunition and I could put it out there when I need to.
I agree with you indeed. The AFC.
The problem with them, they're an ungrateful sick.
They have caused destruction in government, and they are worthless and useless outside of government right now. They're done. They're done.
People should stay away from the AFC, because when you get in there, instead of doing for the people, you are doing for yourself, and you made the ticket look bad because they couldn't get to fulfill all what they promised.
I'm looking at the time and not going over 1 hour. No surprise to you, right? Look at this. Opposition leader faces allegation of discrimination, racial hostility, coming from a man who said when the PPP won, or when the PPP was installed into office, this is a guy who jumped on board immediately and supported Irfan Ali. Then miraculously, Aubrey Norton made him the treasurer. Are you surprised at all of this nonsense that's happening? Norton actually looked for this.
Listen, I said it before. Norton didn't want to listen to me because for some strange reason, for somebody to listen to you, you have to be in politics for 50 years. I knew what I was saying. Norton made some very, very bad choices. It has hurt the PNC tremendously. We need to have this corrected before now in March. And I've said the same thing, that there won't be no local election in March. And now we're seeing it. I've said it again about the GS position, the wrong person. They could be in the party, but they're in the wrong position. And it's sad to say, I don't think they could show me a membership growth of 100.
The folks are strategizing. Give them a break.
For what?
How long did they strategize? Aubrey loves to use this word strategize.
Aubrey needs to come out and be on the ground 7 days a week. That is what a leadership does. You cannot be a part-time grounds person and expect to know what's going on. You cannot build a party from inside the office.
We really have to go.
There are so many people who would want to come on board who have different
Mr. Crawford
mindset, but they're not given the opportunity because they don't have proper representation of the coalition.
You said it, leadership. Leadership is the key word. Before we go, this is what the private sector commission, this is what they're doing. They wrote to the mayor of Georgetown, the same mayor they cussed out the other day. And this is what they're doing. They're begging the mayor of Georgetown to waive the interest of their rates and taxes that the private sector commission owes to City Hall, to the tune of $33 million. They're begging for it to be wiped off, to be waived. This is the same private sector commission that got all of these guys in the private sector commission. They got hundreds of millions of dollars during the COVID pandemic in concessions, hundreds of millions of dollars. But here now they're begging City Hall. But the poor people out in Monrepo, well, not Monrepo, because Monrepo is not part of Georgetown, but the poor people out in Sophia and Liliendal and on the East Bank and so forth and so on, some parts on the East Bank, they got to pay their rates and taxes. And in Georgetown, the poor people got to pay their rates and taxes. There's not going to be any waiver. But these bloodsuckers in the private sector commission are writing now, begging for a waiver of the interest in their rates and taxes. $33 million. These vagabonds have no shame. None whatsoever. I've got to go. You're closing.
No, before you move on there. What the private sector should have done was get with the government of the day and ask them why are they withholding certain funds from the city council and the mayor for him to perform his duties in a proper manner. No. Then they could have got.
The private sector cannot get with the government of the day. There's no government of the day. The private sector is a corrupt enterprise that is just an extension of a corrupt installed regime. They're all birds of a feather, sir. They're all.
Point taken. Sorry, my apologies.
Your closing remarks. 2023, how does it look for Guyana and Guyanese?
Well, if there isn't a snap election by November of this year, the citizens in Guyana will be up for a very, very hard road. What we must see is whatever is left from the coalition. As of now, Aubrey Norton is still the leader of the coalition. Norton needs to get with certain people that were there before, mend the fences. He needs to work along with President Granger. Don't think that he's a relic. He knows a lot more than they think he knows. He needs to get on the ground, get the people, get their trust, be a person that wants to listen And Crawford, before you make choices, do not put square pegs in round holes. You're not going to have a stoppage. You're not going to be able to service the people of this country. You're not going to win the presidency with these attitude and many hangers on that are not worthy. They cannot bring new membership to the party. He needs to change all of that. And foremost, we must have a PNC Congress this year to straighten this mess that is here. If we don't, we're going to be talking about 2030. And that is not what leaders do for the people. We have to stop looking at our self-interest, and we have to worry about the people who have put us there and who put their trust into us to look after the affairs of this country. And we also must see more pressure applied on the international bodies who are so complicit in 2020, March the 3rd. After that, they must come forward and correct this situation. It has destroyed us. It is putting the people of this country back into the 20th century. And as Guyanese, we do not deserve to be living a backward life when we have the resources to make every single one of our citizens happy. And we need to see unity among the two major ethnic groups, the East Indians and Black. This is not about Coolie and Blackman anymore. This is about Guyanese living a better life and giving opportunities to our children that are here now and the ones that are coming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. I appreciate your time as always. I wish you and your family a prosperous and successful 2023, health-wise also, and in every aspect. Thank you for your contributions over the past year, 2022. And I know that the contribution in terms of commentary and otherwise will increase tenfold. The people appreciate your bluntness. Not oftentimes everyone would agree on every issue. But at the end of the day, it's democracy, and you have been expressing just that over the past year, right here on 107.1 FM. We wish you and your family and your birds in the background. Your birds.
Those are my children.
We got, sorry about that, I stand corrected, your children in the background. Do you name them?
Oh, yeah, they got names.
Please don't name any Irfan or any.
Oh, no.
Don't name those birds. You'll be disrespecting those birds.
All right. Good night.
But thank you for your time, sir. Appreciate it. And thanks.
It's always a pleasure to be here, even though many people do not agree with what I say. At the end, I am vindicated. I was one of the most hated individuals back in December of 2021. And my words come to pass. Those cats are out of there. Let's hope that they're better choices. And like I said, we need to be together to build this country and to get us out of this rut.
Absolutely. Thanks again for your time.
Thanks.
And Congress, PNCR Congress is coming.
Oh, yes, we will have that.
This
year,
will
have it.
There'll be no mama gang. There'll be no pussy.
They have to have it.
There'll be no crocodile tears. The people got to go out. They got to do something, man. Something. It's just not working. It's just not working. And I'll put it very lightly. It's just not working. It's like they don't have a strong opposition. It is just not working. Mr. Crawford, I gotta go. I really have to go. But
good night, sir.
30 seconds more. Go ahead.
And what I'm saying, if we do not strengthen the opposition now, we're doing a disservice to the people of this country, regardless of who they support. The opposition has to rein in the government. We have seen how the people at every beck and call was attacking the coalition. But now when we got pushed by foul means into the opposition mode, we are not seeing the same tenacity. And
it's not
this year, I'm telling you straight up, all these people who are representing of the coalition, representing us, if they're not doing their job, they will be called out and they will be forced to resign. You cannot take taxpayers' money and do not do the job. I don't care who you are.
the energy or the political wisdom isn't there in the opposition. For the
Mark,
most part, it is not there. And maybe
Mark,
the
I
few,
will.
maybe 1 second, maybe the few who have the energy, they're not given that opportunity to shine.
I will make it my duty.
We've got to go.
I will make it my duty to put the pressure on the MPs and other big ones. If you're not doing the bidding for the people, you will have to leave.
What MPs? What big?
I'm serious.
The ones who love to parade on social media and Facebook and
Mark, a pound of milk is $1,000 plus. We can't have that.
We gotta go. Thank you so much for your time.
Good night, my brother.
Yeah. All right, J.R. Crawford there. We really have to go. Happy 2023 to you and all of your family. If you have a business, congratulations, and we wish you all the best for the year. We're looking at the splitting of the coalition. The AFC gone their way, and they have gone off with their seats. I don't think that that's a good thing at all. But then again, who am I, right? This little guy far away just talking. But I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. God bless you, and God bless our beautiful country, Guyana. Guyana, right? God bless our beautiful country, Guyana. Bye-bye.
So, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington law firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
If you are looking to have your statutory declaration, affidavit of income, identity, damage or lost passport, lost license, tenancy agreement, agreement of settlement, power of attorney, last will and testament, and certification of documents, then you need to visit the Alistair Collins firm, located at the Killian Mall, 162 Lamaha Street in Georgetown, between Camp and Waterloo Street. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths and a justice of the peace. Make certain you visit him or call for more information at 649-6410 or 685-6448 or 503-1451. And there's adequate parking available. Go down to the Alistair Collins firm and have all of your legal issues settled and brought to the fore. Alistair Collins firm. Contact them at Alistair Collins firm.
Right? Here. Sir. So here.
You left me out. I got you all back. I just paid the spoiler. I know a guy now. I behind.
Seriously,
Somebody got to carry
you
fight.
don't change the thing, will you?
Look at who's here.
You alright?
Right there with you.
You don't know. Come, contour towards the light. Let us see. I got all y'all under my heights.
One love.
Basement level vibes with another one straight up blackness aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benscop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benscop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benscop, straight up from the root. Mark Benscop, who tell the truth? Mark Benscop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benscop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benscop, straight up from the root. Mark Benz up, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benz Cup stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom.